out here today for Motorboats Monthly aboard the brand new Princess 43 Flybridge. Now this is a massively important boat for Princess because it replaces their very, very popular Princess 42. That was a boat which they ran for about 10 years and sold over 300 boats. So it's really important that they got this one right. And we're out here in some proper testing conditions as well. It's doing about a force 5 to 6, gusting 7, and we're at the tail end of the really strong winds that blew through when it was force 11 at the weekend. So we've got some really proper big rolling seas out here. And what's interesting is that recently, when we've been testing new boats, it's been a fact of life that boats are getting bigger and fatter, they're getting more accommodation in them, and as a result of that, on some models we're starting to see a degree of compromise in terms of the seakeeping. So it's absolutely fantastic to get out on this boat and find that there's absolutely no excuses needed whatsoever. Although it is bigger than the 42, it feels absolutely fantastic out here. It feels absolutely made for these sorts of conditions. It's not the sort of stuff you want to come out into deliberately, but it is nice to know that it'll handle it beautifully if you ever are caught out. We've got the Volvo D6 435s in here, and they're giving us a cruising speed in the mid-20s, but it's also very, very quiet. It's a shaft drive boat, so the engines are under the saloon floor, which of course helps to keep the weight forward and helps to keep the seakeeping good. But despite that, it's the sort of noise levels where you can have a conversation without having to raise your voice, and it's the sort of noise levels where if you're doing some extended cruising and you're downstairs, it's not wearing. In terms of the handling, well, it's typical shaft drive Princess really. It's not super snappy sports boat handling. What it is relaxed, comfortable turning, the boat banks nicely but without feeling like you're going to get your ears wet, and it just feels utterly planted and utterly solid. What it feels like, in fact, the best way I can describe it is to say it feels like a 60-foot Princess scaled down, and that's a really good feeling. So we're back in port now, and I'll give you a rundown of the rest of the boat. Princess has been very clever with this boat. They've kept all the best bits of the 42 in terms of the layout and the positioning of everything, but they've brought it right up to date. So for example, up on the Flybridge, they've lost the big sun pad at the back that robs so much space, and they've put a great big seating area there, and then an L-shaped seating area next to the helm, which will convert to a sun pad if you want it to. Down here, it's got these great big windows in here for a fantastic view out. The woodwork's a lot sharper than it used to be. It's a lot more contemporary looking. The galley has changed. It's now more of a U-shape, and that gives you more space there as well. Although the concept of this boat is very similar to the 42, it definitely feels a bigger boat everywhere. This cabin here feels quite a lot bigger than it did in the old 42, and the forward cabin is the same. The toilets now have separate shower stalls rather than just the rotating screens, and there's some really neat detailing too. For example, these beds, you can have an option where at the push of a button they'll slide together, and that'll give you a big double in here rather than the two singles. And up in the saloon as well, they've now fitted the TV that retracts behind the settee. Really is a nicely thought out, well specified boat. We're well used to Princess producing a good boat, but this is well beyond that. They've got this one absolutely spot on. It's capable, it's practical, it's classy, it's well finished, loads of space. It is just an absolutely superb boat.